Swim back, right?
I think I know the way.
Well, which way is it?
North.
He's looking at it.
So are those like roots or tree stumps? Or?
Those are the roots of the cypress tree.
Okay.
Yeah, they're called cypress knees. So they grow out away from the tree, which allows it to stand up in this real silty, soft ground.
Oh, okay.
And they turn and they grow up out of the water. That's how they survive living in water all the time.
Okay.
Cypress you can grow a cypress tree on dry land if you want to. It's not going to put out nearly as many of those knees.
Mm-hmm.
So generally, the more knees you see, the wetter that area usually is.
Got it.
Even if there's no water in it at that time. I've seen people, oh, I thought about buying this property and put me a house right here. You better put a houseboat right there. Right?
Yeah, they grow on in drier areas, but the base is not as big. The base of the tree. I got some in my backyard.
Some cypress.
Yeah. Yeah, they spread out really wide at the base.
Yeah.
Then you start getting the nubs.
Of course,
They're pretty.
I got the philodendron and just put them in water and they root. I'm looking at this greenery that's just growing out of the water.
You see that? Kind of hard to see from this angle, but the water's moving right there. That's a spring.
Yeah.
Right off the front left corner of the boat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Now the whole lake is all spring fed. There's about 20 that feed it, and that's all that carves these little creeks out of the woods is the spring water flowing out. The cypress trees, that's what stains the water, this kind of reddish brown color, the tannic acid from the trees, with all the water, real slow moving. It's kind of like a tea bag soaking in water.
Do people go swimming in the lake part out there?
In the lake part?
Yeah.
Not really. I've swam in this spring. I drank out of this spring right in front of the boat. No. Right out there from you, it's about 2 feet deep, 2.5 foot deep.
Yeah.
Right here in the spring, it's 7. And it comes up real steep. But this real silty mud, you don't want to really touch the bottom. It'll just stir it up.
Mm-hmm.
You see, out in the lake, averages 4 to 6 foot deep. And when you see bottom, that's the sand, that's bottom. Back here, you see the bottom, kind of false reading. You just sink to your knees or you're wasting that stuff. So.
Mm-hmm.
That first trail we went down, all this stuff, it grows on little floating clumps of mud and little tussock islands. And with all the wind and storms, it's been slowly closing that trail. So sometimes we got to open it back up.
Water comes up pretty high at times in here, huh?
You can see that on the tree.
Yeah, there's a good 2 feet of water there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're about 1 foot high now.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
This is week 2 of our rainy season.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's.
Did you grow up on this lake or in this area?
Well, I spent some time on dry ground too.
That's a good answer. Oh
I
dear.
did. Me and a friend of mine used to fish back here a lot growing up. So.
Yeah.
Learned that this is not a nice place for a boat. It's the best boat for fishing on back here is somebody else's.
Yeah.
See that one boat there, they didn't even get in very far. They're already hung up on the tree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's probably a lot of stuff in the water, huh?
All
Trees, branches.
kinds of logs, and the grass wraps up in your prop. The mud's not good for the outboards. And then when you try and outrun a storm, you keep getting tangled up because all the grass out in the lake grows right to the top.
Yeah.
Which makes it a good lake for fishing. That's about it. You don't hardly see any jet skis out here. I seen one yesterday. It was the third one this year, which is a lot. And they don't make it very far. The first group I seen, there was 2 of them. They come ripping up the lake. By the time we made it across the lake on that ride, they were shut down right up here before we come in the woods. Sucked up something in the impeller, and they were done. Yesterday morning, same thing. Come flying up, said they'll be broke down. It wasn't 5 minutes later. They were out there and finally got back to the dock.
So what allows this boat to come back here?
There is nothing under the water other than the flat bottom of this boat. Everything that pushes this boat or steers it is above the water line.
Okay.
So we can run over those logs back there.
Yeah.
We're not worried about this boat. You want to keep it in a little bit of water because it is so large, and we don't have the horsepower to push it on dry ground. But if you put enough engine back here, this boat would run dry ground.
Mm.
Which are smaller boats. That's the main goal of it, because we hunt a lot of the swamps, and you can't just walk in there, and you can't just take a boat in there. So the airboat, you can cover, you know, where you would normally walk and where you need the boat, so it gets you back in where most people are too lazy to get to. So the hunting's still okay.
Right.
No turtles around here.
Yeah, it's
It's
tough.
early. It's early, and it's getting hotter now. This time of year, your gators and turtles, they don't need to lay in the sun like they normally would for the wintertime. The turtles are still coming up. So as we get further down through here, we might see a couple starting to come up, but it is early in the morning for that.
So gators are more active in the afternoon?
They are lazy in the afternoon.
So I hunt in the morning.
Yeah, they do most of their feeding at night. They will eat during the day, but most active at night.
Well,
And usually because it's hot. Well, when it's hot, they're going to stay down in the shade and stay cooler through the day. And then when it's cool, they'll lay up in the sun and stay there and warm up all day.
So you don't think we'll have a good chance of seeing one now?
I hope so.
I think so.
You know, better chance here than some other place. I mean, we've seen gators everywhere we go on this ride.
Oh, cool.
But you can't always make them come out and play.
That's
So
true.
we're going to keep going down through and see if we can find some.
Should have brought some Cheetos.
I know. I really like Cheetos.